Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you enjoyed your day so far, and today we're going to talk about a very interesting paradigm which is currently pervading Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. That being the fact that, look, on one side you've got cheaters who are kind of getting away with it, and on the other side you've got people who aren't cheating, getting accused of cheating, and getting banned and, well, are forfeited from tournaments as a result. This is something which really well, it was probably inevitable given the fact there's no anti-cheat in the game right now, but I certainly wanted to bring it to some of your guys' attention, the fact that this is going on, and it of course is very unfortunate for the players involved, and also really the question mark around, look, if you could ban all the hackers from the game and get rid of everyone, but as a consequence of that, you had to also ban some people who actually were innocent just to make sure you got rid of everyone, would you prefer that situation, or would we prefer a situation where every innocent player is allowed to compete, but some hackers slip through the cracks? Because the problem is, we may be ruining careers of potential future professional players by them getting, well, involved in cheating scandals, whereas in reality, they're not actually cheating at all. Yeah, certainly some big questions to answer in the comment section below. Intrigued to hear your thoughts. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. Let's hop into things then. So first of all, the COD League come out with a couple of days ago. 2 Challengers Cups in the Scouting Series in the books. Who is the best Challenger player in your mind? Thought this was interesting as well from Garet Rehling. Came out on Reddit to talk about the average draft position of the players in some of these regions. So Standy was a 2.7, Venom was a 3, Paulex was a 3.3. So these were the average draft positions of these players. So kind of giving an indication as to, well, how highly these guys are rated right now by some of the professional league coaches. We also get this as well, map record of the player. So Gintwood has a 75% map win percentage. So pretty interesting to see some of these names at the top tier of the amateur side. And then, well, the next players up for the professional scene for sure. But there's some players, of course, slightly lower down the rankings who don't quite have the clout of some of these top amateur guys quite yet, who are, well, finding themselves in a bit of a predicament. So we did talk about this yesterday from Zerg. This is the clip that got us forfeited out of the Toronto Ultra 5K. What a disgrace. And I didn't share these clips on screen to you guys yesterday, but I'll do it today just to see what's going on here. So they played against another team, and the first clip is going to be the other team watching it back in theatre and thinking there's something dodgy going on here with how they've predicted the spawns, but then they come up with the clip from their perspective saying, like, okay, look, we just knew where the spawns were, like, you know, don't get it twisted. All of a sudden, just because you lost to us and you think you have more clout or whatever, you can now come out and say we're cheating and get away with it, which effectively is kind of what happened, because they ended up getting forfeited out of this Toronto Ultra 5K. So I'll show a couple of clips here on screen.
Switch back so I didn't lag.
Show them the other maps.
I'm going to. I'm going to.
Why is he in free on the tree there? So sus, dude. Like, oh,
dude, and then we all spawn to the left, bro. And he, I know it isn't the worst one. That's the funny part.
Wait,
this is just off the rip.
Just wait. Why does he just stare at the wall here?
I'm
you guys on the map?
Wait, hold up. Yeah, kind of. The ref's watching this kid.
Yeah,
we might get.
Alright, we play you after.
Alright. The ref, no, we played kids, but these kids probably hacking. So.
One Eski's dead. Yeah, I killed one Eski's.
We back up someone.
Got one shrub.
Nice. One more front on you, dead.
Nice
One last one. Let's go. That's all four.
What's up?
So that's kind of where we got to yesterday, and then it continued today. So as he comes out with, well, everyone, we are DQ'd from this other tournament 5K, even though we had a cam stream of both of Careless's monitors. I'm probably going to hang up the sticks from here on out. 2 5Ks in a row. Thanks Mohawk for ruining 4 people's dreams, dude. It just crushed our credibility. So they get banned from another tournament, DQ'd for supposedly cheating. Although I really didn't see anything which is particularly illegitimate. The problem is here that, okay, if Mohawk comes out and says these guys are cheating or whatever in that first tournament, then that kind of cloud is hanging over their head in that sense. Any other tournament, if someone comes to them and says, okay, this clip is dodgy, immediately the referees are probably going to be on edge, like, okay, is these guys perfectly legit? Who really knows? And the problem is, there's so many people right now who aren't legit all over the scene that when people actually are perfectly legit, that's when question marks start to be raised. And we saw it a few days ago with Paulex, right, on the Baby FaZe team, on the Western team, of course, when Crimsic said, look, are these guys, this guy perfectly legit, what's going on here? He was 90% sure something dodgy was going on. I believe Paulex then came out and said, look, we kind of resolved it with Crimsic and co, and he actually, you know, he believes, like, look, you're just ahead of the meta, you're just ahead of the game, I don't actually think you cheat. But certainly something like that, if Paulex had a little bit less clout, if he was one of these type of guys that's a little bit further down the ladder in terms of the challenger scene, it can be very easy for these guys to just get completely blacklisted effectively from the scene as a result of this. And that is the question. If we want to get rid of every single hacker, which is going to be impossible to do anyway, should we accept a number of false positives where people are getting, well, falsely banned out of the game? Because I do not want to see that be the case. case. I'd prefer some hackers to slip through the cracks, because at the end of the day, hackers are never going to be able to prove this stuff in a LAN environment, but allow players who actually are perfectly legitimate to still keep on competing and not take a super hard line on this. But as a result, as we're going to look at in a couple of minutes, the fact that, well, these guys may be perfectly legitimate, but there's other players who are not legitimate at all, but are then getting away with hacking. So there's two sides of the coin here, which is, well, a very frustrating one to see, given that there's no anti-cheat, right? Where is it, guys? As Nick Bishop says, look, just got forfeited again in this tourney. We all streamed our POV and even had the person who cheated supposedly stream his monitors so that they could see that he didn't have any wall hacks or anything coming up on his screen, and is still getting called cheaters. Like, what is going on? No, absolutely ruining careers. And well, this is the clip that apparently got them forwarded from this tournament. So as you can see here on Moscow, hitting the backside, and okay, so preempts this corner. Like, obviously, like, there was no one going to be standing exactly here necessarily, but sometimes you preempt a corner and he meant to preempt slightly left, you meant to preempt slightly right, and then of course he charles this very, very common angle, of course. Like, what is dodgy about this? He comes around the corner preempting where you would imagine someone to be, wins the fight, especially given the hard point was over in this back location as well. So yeah, to me, nothing dodgy going on about this one. It's like a 9-second clip. It's very easily explainable if anything dodgy is in this clip at all. Really just preempting a pretty common angle, and well, at the end of the day, apparently this was enough to get them forfeited from a tournament, with other guys doing much more blatant stuff that seem to be getting away with it, right? And it's very frustrating to see Mohawk, after getting the boys, you know, forfeited every single tourney and league imaginable, and well, this is certainly going to follow them around for a while, I imagine. I wanted to bring it to your guys' attention really wider within the community that this type of stuff is going on, and well, obviously we need to try and find a way to deal with this, and it's pretty difficult to do so. Teddy Rex also came out in a clip and said, like, look, I don't see anything dodgy going on here. Like, what are these guys talking about? Yeah, pretty frustrating. And as Risky says, look, thanks Mohawk, you accusing us of cheating because we smoked you guys is ruining our COD careers. We are being forfeited from every tourney without being able to defend ourselves. We are streaming, and Careless is streaming, the guy who was supposedly cheating, with his camera facing the monitors, yet we are still forfeited. We are trying everything we can to clear our names, but still get forfeited. You're a big following, responsible man, all this type of stuff, which is, yeah, ruining people's chances of making it, which is not the stuff we want to see, right? Like, we don't want our amateur scene to become this type of fest where as soon as everyone starts doing well, immediately they're accused of cheating, and then they effectively get blasted out of the scene, because there's some really talented players. We saw it with Awakening, of course, last season. Okay, it's online. Is this guy a bit dodgy? Is he using something, a strike pack? Is he using something dodgy to get an advantage on the professional side? That was a question for a while, and it's an unfortunate question that was raised, and I wish that wasn't a topic we have to talk about, but especially for players that are lower down the ranks, trying to build themselves up, this is, well, something which can straight up end your career, right? And I hope it isn't the case for these guys. I hope they managed to figure something out, and, well, certainly they've seen a lot of support over the last couple of days. But on the flip side of this, you then get the situation of players pretty obviously hacking in some of these tournaments. I mean, this is one of the clips right here that came out. Okay, bruv, I won't believe you ain't cheating. So this is one of the clips, as you can see right here. I'll just rewind it for a second. How there's a smoke down right here, and as you can see, this guy's pointing out how he's looking right through the smoke of where this player is, and effectively just tracking him through the smoke. Theater mode can be a little bit dodgy with yeah, how it like renders the smokes and stuff. Like, sometimes things look different from one player's perspective as they did from another, but still, I find it pretty difficult to see that he actually can see through this smoke here, even in the real game. And yeah, the fact that he's kind of just like aiming and lining up on these guys through the smoke, I mean, this is pretty remarkable. And then even this one at the end, like, look at this movement that he makes right here over by this wall, where he's kind of like, what is he doing? Like, he wants to go one way, wants to go the other. Why is he looking into the wall here? More than likely he's looking through the wall at where his wall hack says the guy is, and then of course he comes in Charles mid and waits perfectly for this guy and pre-fires him coming around the corner. So this, I thought, was pretty damn obvious. Obviously much more, there's much more to take away from this than there was from those previous clips we looked at that people are actually getting forwarded for. And then, well, Kenny comes out and says as well, I'm watching fools play 1v1 wages, and fools are just hacking in broad daylight. This is the clip I'll share for you guys on stream. I mean, this is just absolutely remarkable. He just comes around the corner, pre-fires the corner, and they're not looking at any angle at all. Like, this is just completely outrageous. I'll share it for you guys.
Taking control.
And as Simp says, look, this guy is the raid goat, right? Like, this guy doesn't miss. He comes around the corner. His awareness level is on 1000. Like, this guy absolutely, he's so good. Like, why is he pre-aiming this corner? Who really knows? He's straight up pre-fired that corner, even though, and obviously he was aiming at the window, but he wasn't actually aiming at an angle, right? There's no way that's like a natural, you know, progression of movement. And as Kenny said, this guy did up getting banned or whatever from this tournament. But these guys are unfortunately all over the place. But there's certainly more innocent players than there are hacker players. But at the end of the day, like, what are you going to do about this type of stuff? Obviously, obviously the ideal solution is to have an anti-cheat, right? To get to the point where, okay, it's not a big deal, everyone who's hacking just gets banned anyway, and everyone who doesn't get on the anti-cheat is then perfectly legitimate. But a perfect anti-cheat is pretty much impossible to implement, and this is probably stuff that the amateur community is going to have to deal with for quite a while now, especially moving into this PC era. But I thought this is pretty nice as well from Neptune to finish off the job with well, him going on out of the map here on Moscow. Yeah, pretty remarkable. I haven't seen anyone do this before. So yeah, certainly a number of legit players out there making some really cool plays all over the map. But yeah, unfortunately there's well, some players that aren't so good that have decided to hack for whatever reason, and as a result of that, then everyone's getting accused of hacking all over the shop, and the even very good amateur players, it's going to happen to them as well, as we've seen so far this video. So yeah, certainly intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think we can even do about this? Is there a good future here for the challenger scene? Because I do certainly worry about the challenger scene going forwards, that people are going to lose motivation, or they're going to be forced to quit as a result of some of this stuff, and well, it's certainly not a good thing for the league going forwards. I certainly think they probably should have thought harder about well, moving the challengers to PC this season with no clear anti-cheat in place. But maybe it'll work out for the best in the end. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm know you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well, and I'll grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.
I didn't flash anything. Do you want?
I trophy myself.
Fire absolute small door and then one top.
Got one. Yep.
Yeah, spawn out.
Where? Huh?
Should be ice.
Wait, they're spawning next to you!